So in this video, you get to see exactly why gamers do not like video game journalists. Why we prefer to watch YouTubers or independent content creators or literally like everything else besides journalists. And hopefully at some point, game developers will get the hint that if you appeal to the market, you will actually make more sales than if you try to appeal to game journalists who are completely disconnected from the average person. Perfect example. You got this video game coming out about Andy and the Coffin of Ley Ley or whatever. The Coffin of Andy and Ley Ley. Okay. So it's an indie game. It's got beautiful artwork. And it's an edgy game. Like it's trying to do something that is not mainstream necessarily, but at the same time it's not harmful. It's a mature game, right? Like it's not an adult game. It's not like a sexual game, but it is a game that you wouldn't let people under the age of 18 play. And this game treats various subjects like demonology, cannibalism, murder. Like you got all these grotesque stuff, which again, like is meant to create a sense of unease into the player. It's why we actually play video games, is to get some feeling coming from the material, whether it's happiness, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness. Like, get the player to feel something. That's what a good video game does, and this one does it pretty well, right? Like it gets people to feel a sense of unease. But apparently, there is one optional ending that's even a dream sequence where these two characters have sex. And because they're brothers and sisters, a lot of left-leaning people on Twitter, of all places, try to cancel the game. Like, I want you to understand, there is a human being out there who had to draw this art, who had to spend months coding the game, and they want that person's livelihood ruined. And this is like for no particular reason whatsoever. Like there is no standard that you shouldn't do this. It's just like some people on Twitter got upset and they decided that this person's worth is 0 and we have to go after her. Yeah, apparently it's a woman, right? So like all of these people that are championing like, oh, but we need more women in gaming. Oh, we need to empower more women. Oh, more female voices. Apparently they don't care. They don't give a fuck. And in fact, I'm willing to bet they haven't even played the game. There is no way to even get offended by this ending unless you manage to get like that very niche ending, which is like less than 10% of people got at the point of controversy. So like most people just jump on a bandwagon. Like I want you to understand just how hateful these individuals are, right? They're not even offended. Because they don't play the game. They couldn't possibly have been offended. So instead, they're like, okay, well, this is a person we're ruining today. Right? And they do it for virtue points. It's like they want a standing ovation for this shit. And the internet has had enough. Like most gamers have had enough. And they know why they don't like this game. It's not because of incest or anything, right? Because these people don't go to church. These people do not worship Jesus. These people aren't concerned by morality. They're in discords in their fucking furry fandoms. And they also like the bear sex in Baldur's Gate, right? Like, these people aren't Puritans or they're strangers to sex. I mean, if someone was to try to ban drag in story hours, these people are probably the first ones to defend it, right? So again, like, I'm talking about the people on Twitter from that particular sphere that are attacking this game. The reason they're attacking this game is because of the artwork. Like, they don't like what they consider to be the heteronormative, cisgender behavior. In other words, why your mother was attracted to your father. Like, they don't like that shit, okay? And they think like they're somehow revolutionary. Like, they're going to create new beauty standards that your father and your mother were unaware of, that they even existed, but your children will know that, yes, like, the beauty standards are now reversed. Complete bullshit, right? Complete hogwash. Like just this type of ideology is very bizarre, very difficult to grasp by the normal person, yet they use it to justify in order to ruin the livelihood of others. So gamers get together and they decide to support this game. And by the way, turns out it's actually a good game, right? So more people buy it and it breaks $1 million in sales. Now at this point, you would think that video game journalists would at least try to cover it. Like, you think that Kotaku, Polygon, like all these other publications would try to cover it because it gives you clicks. Like, it gives you views. Like this video that I'm making right now, it's getting clicks. It's getting views. But no, complete silence from the video gaming press. Like, this story doesn't even exist. Story that gets an indie game to have more than 2 million views. It's got like controversy. It's got everything that you want. No, they're not covering it. And again, it's made by a single person, a woman, which is doing everything. The writing, the art, the coding. Like, she's doing everything. You would think that Polygon would be interested in covering. You would think that Kotaku would be interested in covering. Now, maybe they have it, I don't know. Okay, like, that is a possibility. If that is the case, please put it in the comments. I've looked, okay? Like, I've looked. Maybe Google is suppressing them. Maybe Google is suppressing Polygon, Kotaku, and all the other publications. Or maybe The Escapist would have covered it, but, you know, they got their journalists fired or they quit, so that's why we don't hear from it. But I googled and the Coffin of Andy and Ley Ley. Like, I do not find anything besides the Steam page, the controversy, a couple of content creators like myself talking about it. Complete radio silence. Now it's making $2 million in revenue. So it made 1 million, now it's making 2. That is insane, okay? Like, this lady can hire a studio to make a part 2 now. No journalist is talking about it. Not a peep. And they're not talking about it because they're not journalists, they're activists. And you know, it's surprising, like, you're seeing these publications going under, one after another. Like, it's not even that unholy to talk about. Like, most people on the left don't really hate this game. You know, it was just a couple of fringe weirdos. And these publications that are like, oh, well, we wouldn't want incest in video. They supported Baldur's Gate, which has bear sex in it. So again, like, they're not underneath talking about controversial subjects. And even then, like, you'd think they would cover the game and just mention the fact, yeah, well, it's got bear sex in it, very edgy, make sure you're over 18 when you play. They don't do that. They do not do these things. And it goes to show just how corrupt they are. And when they go out of a business, they go on Twitter and they cry and they wonder, like, why is the world so bad and so cruel? They are not within the interest of the customer. Like, if you run a gaming magazine, like, I understand you can't cover every single indie game, but when you have an indie game that just manages to make it overnight, especially when there's, like, some controversy involved and some drama, that is good clicks. And they know it, yet they refuse to cover it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. I wonder if this game is going to break $3 million at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.